Howdy, howdy, howdy. We're back again. Once again, taking a slight detour. Um, so, I've been trying to set up a couple of different things. That's kind of what I've been doing today. One was fixing my uh, default users. So now I have it auto loading a few users for me at the beginning of at initialization. So I have characters I can log in and play with as practice, and they'll always be in the system. Versus one user that I create that I have that I can use for just playtesting from the beginning, which will be the one I use the most. I, but I want to create users of different states of information. So I'm not sure exactly how well this is going to work, but what I'd like to do is start creating I don't know, a dummy user that has certain states of information that will follow, that will load up every time I go to another environment. So this way I always have something to test. Um, but right now, I have, as you know, as I'm trying to load to fix these play types. But here's a couple of reasons why, a couple of issues with this. One is these are all the plays in the system, and I don't. These need to be the plays that the user has. So I'm not. These aren't even plays attached to the user. But additionally, I want to be able to apply filters. And what the filters need to be is a way for the system to know what plays qualify as what play types. So I've got basically 6 play types, I believe, or detail play types, or is what I'd call them, because I got base play types, run or pass. Um, but I also have, I think there's even a special, which is just like kickoff or something like that. That doesn't count as either of those things. But there's also play types like run middle, run left, run wide, or run right, and passing short, medium, and long. And I don't remember. I think I might even have a screen base type. So I have the play types identified. Let's go see what they are. And I have ways of knowing, but some plays could be, in fact, a lot of plays will be more than one of these options. So when a play is created, we need to apply some filtering information. Now, I don't want to have it deducing whether or not it meets this particular play type every time we run the plays. I think when the play is created, it gets categorized. It gets set as a particular set of plays. So, and it should be pretty easy to do. So, well, easy is relative, but we're going to use the logic that's provided to us by or the ability provided to us by AI to try to get these functions written. So I'm going to give the details. Nintendo, waiting for me all day. Yeah, well, today's been a busy day. I've had a lot going on. I did my run this morning, got up. I worked for about an hour, and then I had to go out and run some errands. Then I had to come back, and I worked for about another hour or two. Thing is, I don't stream everything because sometimes I want to work on a task and just do a heads down, let's make some progress on it, little things. And then I come back in and try to do something different. It doesn't mean I won't go back to those items, especially if I didn't get them done. But this way it allows me to kind of refocus, get some things fixed that aren't quite working, and hopefully be a little further along the next time I come back. So that's kind of what I did this morning. I was restructuring and creating some dummy users that will always be in the system for me. So no matter what happens, when I restart like my auth service, it'll automatically make sure that I have my base test users, the ones that are going to have records all the time. So, you kind of have to do that every now and then. You get those parts in place, and then you start realizing, okay, well, I need to get this playbook working, fixed correctly, so that when I attach it to Unity, it's already working correctly. I know the data is doing what it's supposed to do. So the issue I have right now is probably not even a Unity, or not even a Unity wouldn't be affected by the error that I'm currently encountering. I think my code is fine on the back end. This is a front end rendering issue, but also the back end is providing the wrong data. This is all fields, and I'm trying to get away from that. I want are all plays. So I want to put in the base logic that when a play is created, it auto categorizes them. So I got to go to the playbook, and so you see I have my plays here. And these are when I create the plays, and it says play type, but the problem is I have multiple play types, and I don't think that's going to work. So what I think I'm going to have to do is either create fields for every play type, and then when the play gets created, mark them which ones, are of that type. Or I create play types and I just give it an array of settings. So let's see what AI suggests. For me, the biggest thing is performance, right? I mean, I really want to be able to get this and be quick, have it easy to filter on, have it quick to look up, and be able to search these items and get them. So I'm going to ask AI's opinion on this one. Let's see. All right, so here's the issue. When I create a play in the system, it can be one or more play types. So its base play type, run, pass, special is determined at by its creation. Well, let's see. Where is my seed for this? Play types. See, this is the talking about the play type group. Play type group is what I need to identify. So base play type is pass, pass, run. These are all play types of a total, right? So we have 4 and 5. So we got 2 passes, but one's a pass short, one's a pass medium. We got run left, run right, run middle. We got pass long, pass screen. We have goal line, which I haven't determined. That one's going to be a little trickier. I haven't decided how I'm going to determine run right one. What is this run middle? How come? Oh, there's defensive versions too. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right, so when I create a play in the system, it can be one or more play types. For example, a pass play can have screen pass, short, medium, and long options. How do I determine what a goal line play would be? I mean, the system can determine if we have screen, pass, medium, or medium and long, screen, short, medium, long routes. But how would I determine? Now I can easily tell run left and run right, run middle, left, and right by determining that as well. I can determine that also by the route that their players are being assigned. But how do I determine a goal line run? I think a goal line run is pretty much what? Any run that either uses a goal line formation or runs up the middle? Short of it being
Hey, Kenneth, what's on your mind today?
Quick question. So I'm developing a football game where my plays can be identified as to what kind of play they are. So they can be both pass, they can be a medium, short, long pass simply by the fact that we have routes that go to each of those locations. So it covers 3 types. However, I'm trying to figure out how I would tell if a play might be a goal line play. Would that be best done by the formation, or should I go by run middle?
Best approach would be combining both formation and context clues, like the field position. Goal line plays usually have tight formations and occur near the end zone. Factoring in the run-pass balance could also help in determining the play type. What's your game vision?
Well, I want to be able to allow filtering of the plays when they're setting up their playbook. And so if somebody wants to, like, say, select all the plays that might be goal line plays, I want to be able to pick out the plays that would best qualify as a goal line play. Unlike direction and distance, I don't have an obvious way to know if it would be considered other than to have, like you said, a type formation. Which would be what type of formations exactly?
Look for formations like goal line, jumbo, or heavy sets, which feature more tight ends and fewer wide receivers. These formations are often used for short yardage situations near the goal line. You could also consider the number of offensive linemen and the positioning of the backfield to narrow it down. Does that help?
It does. It actually does. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad to hear. What else can I help with on your game?
I'll let you know. All right, so jumbo I don't have, goal line I don't have, and heavy set I don't have. But I will create. I can create those formations. Just for the sake of having them available, let's go ahead and let's see if AI can do this for me. AI actually created, to some extent, these JSONs for me, and not totally. I had to tweak them a little bit, but let's see if AI can help me out with creating these formations. I want to add a heavy set goal line, and what was the other one it said? Heavy set goal line, and what was the third one? Heavy set goal line and tight? It's tight formation? No. Maybe it was tight. Heavy set goal line and let's go with tight. I don't remember what it was. Tight formation. To be used for goal line situations and to help identify plays specifically best for those situations. As a clue, QB, positions are R1, 2, 3 are running back, W1, 2, 3, 4 are wide receiver. LTRG, C, LC, and RT are linemen. And of course, QB is quarterback. For offensive plays, center is at lineup position X 0 and Y 0. Let's see, what else do I need? I think that's it. Oh, and grid is 13. Is it 13 only? 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, maybe it's 15. 15 wide. And represent about 2.5 yards of distance. I think you can have these formations. If so, I might be open to adding more if these look good. Let's see how good. Let's see how good the AI is at coming up with formations for me. Now remember, it came up with these formations, although I had to tweak the grid positions. I want to see what it comes up with. I want to see what these look like when I put them in my... I'm not even going to touch them. I just want to see what it looks like. So I can go to my... I'll put them in, restart the playbook service, and then let's go see what it looks like. I'm curious. All right, so we're going to go copy, and well, actually I just want this. Comma here. Drop these guys down. Control S. All right, so put them in. I don't know how good they are. I don't even know how well I set my groups, but we're going to go see what this formation looks like. Let's see how good. Let's see how good it was able to identify and create these items for me. Go here. CD PFFM. Go ms/playbook. Go on dot. This should reload all of my formations for me. And then we'll go over to Play Editor. See what these look like. Okay, they're not bad. Got myself a heavy set, goal line, tight formation. They did put a wide receiver, a couple of tight ends on the end, left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. Overall, those look pretty good. I would probably want to set a couple of my tight ends maybe a little off the line. But other than that, those are usable. Very usable. Huh. I did get a bug here. What's this? What did it do for my... Actually, those look pretty good. Mac Mini M4, 16 RAM, 10 gigabytes of CPU, 10 gigabytes of GPU. to a 2025 Mac Mini M4, huh? I don't know what I have. I think, well, mine is a Surface Pro, as I've told you before, but I've got, whenever I get a computer, I buy like the top version because I know I probably won't be upgrading it. I mean, yours is, that's a good 6 year gap. I usually go between 4 and 6 years before I upgrade. I'm currently at about 2.5 years off of this one. Because I got this is a Surface Pro 8. They're up to 11 now, so maybe it's 3 years. But the problem is with Surface Pro, as great as it was in 8 and even 9, I think, somewhere around, I think it was 10 and 11, they switched over to an ARM processor instead of using an Intel processor. And so it's kind of gone full tablet. And it's not as good. I mean, people even say online, it's like, yeah, it's not going to be able to do a lot of the stuff it was good at. It's good at being a tablet now, but it's not as good at being a PC. So I'm a little disappointed by that. So maybe Microsoft will change that in the future. If not, I may have to, by the time I buy a new computer, I'm gonna have to go with something else. Yeah, I don't wanna. I want it to be an Intel compatible system, but I'm not buying one. It'll be Surface Pro 15 or so before I'm even looking at another one, assuming I can get, by then. The assumption is, of course, I will be gamefully making money by then. Whether I'm employed by someone else or my game is making money, then I'll be able to do something. But until that time, I don't have much of anything to go on. I actually kind of thought at one point when I first started this, I go, what's the minimum I can do to make a game? And then just start and then get it out there at like cheap, for like $1, or even just let people buy it or get it, start using it, playing with it, and I just keep adding features to it constantly. I thought about doing that, but then I thought, yeah, because I'll lose all the hype. I won't ever gain hype. I won't ever gain interest, and it will be pretty basically doing very little at the beginning, and I could lose all those people I started with simply by the time I add more features. So I was like, yeah, let's have a good chunk of stuff before I start thinking that. Apple bought Intel? No. Oh, you mean Apple used Intel? Apple did not buy Intel. Apple may, wait. No, they didn't. Let me see. Does Apple own Intel? Oh man, nope. No. Oh, I said apply. Does Apple own Intel? No, Apple does not own Intel. See, he said right there. Apple does not own Intel. Apple used to rely on Intel processors for Mac computers, but in recent years, Apple has transitioned to using its own custom designed chips known as Apple Silicon. So they're making their own chips. They've basically abandoned Intel to make their own chips. Yeah, they're doing their own thing. But Intel, however, Apple did acquire a 5G modem business in 2019. That's the one you're talking about, which has helped Apple develop its own modem technology. What does that even do? You mean like so that they can have 5G on their computers? So they just basically bought their modem technology, yeah. But yeah, that's a little different. How about some more? following a similar pattern, some of which you can deduce from my other formations. How about some additional defensive formations? I only have 2 defensive formations anymore. So I bought the modem chips that gave them more room to build their silicon chips. Learned one chip has GPU and CPU all in one. Yeah. Well, Intel, all of Intel's chips have GPU and CPU in them now, or at least most commercial versions do. You don't need to have a graphics processor anymore and a graphics card anymore. But if you want to play games, you still want a graphics card. It's just good for like business purposes, and they're getting better all the time. In fact, the Surface Pro, actually, I think it has its own graphics card. No, I guess it's the Surface Laptop and the Surface, what's the other one? The Surface Laptop and Surface, I forgot their other devices. But tackle and corners. Okay, all right, cool. How many did it give me? Wow. Goal line defense, prevent defense. All right, let's go see what these look like. I mean, these may, if nothing else, even if these aren't perfect, I can always edit them. At least they're in existence now. Wait, did it? Huh, it tried, this one kind of tries to create it too, but that's not, I don't know what that is. It's not the same. E-T-T-E-L. That one has a free safety at -4 and -6. -4, that's not going to work. -4 and -6 is not a valid thing. Because defense has to go positive. There's no minus. Yeah, the new ones do. Mine is the Surface Pro 8, which uses an i9 process. i9? I think it's either an i9 or... I think it's an i9 processor. Of course, it could be an i7. But I think the 8 uses a 9. Oh, I don't remember. What processor is the Surface Pro 8 using? i7? Oh, 11th gen core processor, i7. Okay. Well, they have i5s. Mine is an i7. And it uses onboard Intel Iris Xe graphics. But I'm hoping they get a clue and go back to Intel core processors. But like I said, I got years. Maybe by then Snapdragon, or maybe by then an ARM processor will be decent. But if not, I'm gonna have to pick a new kind of device. I love the Surface. I love the form factor. It's fast. It's strong. Plus, they stopped putting Thunderbolt on. The latest versions don't use Thunderbolt, but then again, it's not an Apple device or an Intel device, so whatever. So yeah, which means I wouldn't even be able to connect my external graphics card anymore because it requires Thunderbolt 4. So my Surface Pro can do it. And so if I want to use that, I need to have Thunderbolt on whatever machine I buy. I don't know. I'm not worried about it yet. It's going to be years. I'm years away from buying a new PC. So if anything, I thought maybe what I'd like to do is upgrade my desktop computer. I figure I can get it up to top flight game status, development status, being able to be a little bit more reliable even than this, because I wouldn't have to use the Thunderbolt card. I could put my graphics card directly in the machine. And I figure I can get it up to par for about $1,000, which would make it a top tier game capable game. Because really the majority of the expense would be motherboard. I have to buy 3 things for it. Well, 4. Probably be $1,200. But I need to buy motherboard, CPU, memory, and well, I already have a graphics card. So motherboard, CPU, and memory. That's it. So maybe no. Yeah, I could probably get by with around $1,000 because I already have a good graphics card. I'll just stick in there. And then of course I already have good monitors. I already have SSD drives I can put in there. So yeah, I think for $1,000 I can make it pretty good. Look, a pretty good running desktop. But again, that's down the road. Then I wouldn't have to use I'd still use my Surface Pro. It just wouldn't be my primary computer. It would be like my backup or maybe my mail device or my travel device. I could still work on it, but I'd do it when I'm traveling. I wouldn't necessarily have to be on on the system all the time. Okay, so why is this complaining here? Let's go look at my, I'm curious what the defense looks like now. Let's go here. Oops, nope, I gotta reboot this. Control C, go on, oops, let's save this. Dot. Well, I gotta go back to game plan, back to playbook, go back to play editor, defense, click. All right, so I've got 6 defensive formation options now. They all look pretty good. Nickel's kind of weird, but because it has 3 corners. No, it laid these out nice. It did a really good job laying these out, man. Dime defense. And 1 and 2 nose tackle. Dude, how many guys are on this? Goal line? I didn't realize they ever used that many players. Tackle? That's going to be a problem. Oh, but I use RT for offense, so T is probably... Yeah, but I use T for tight end. I'm going to have to come up with a different strategy for my for our tackles. T1 and T2 are supposed to be tight end. So, yeah, that's going to be a conflict of some sort. How did I have it set up on these other ones? I had nose tackle. Oh, because I used nose tackle and guard. Nose tackle and ends. Oh, I only had 2. But I had tackle in there too. T1. Oh, I guess I have a flaw because that's a tackle. But on 4-3 base, I also had a T. Ooh. I thought I had managed to come up with good secondary letters. Broke it. Well, it's not going to be a serious problem yet, but it will be. It'll be a problem eventually when I'm trying to come up with my all right. So a play a play cannot be a I have 3 goal line formations, but that trying to decide how best to have my right now. I was going to determine play type based on route conditions or route setup. And now I'm not sure how I can do that. I don't really want to use formations because that's yeah, because I'd rather have my formations determine. If I'm going to do that, I need or maybe I just set goal line to go by formations. Maybe that's what I need to do. So what kind of defenses did it give me? Did it give me any goal line defense kind of thing? Prevent. Oh, it does have a goal line defense. Oh, wow. That was pretty smart. I didn't even think about it. It did a good job of, it even put the right category on them. Tight, goal line, heavy, full house. I mean, I could just set these as nickel and dime, but I don't care for now. I got to come up with a good way. All right. Let's just not make this complicated. Let's just do this. Okay, so let's go into my playbook. I need to create a play categorizer setup. So we're going to see how good. So something went wrong with the agent. Now, one of two things has happened. It's broken, and GitHub is saying, hey, we're broken. Or two, I've somehow managed to use it so much that I hit my 300 requests and it's blocking me from using it. But I have not been able to put an agent request in since yesterday. So I may have hit the 300 agent requests that you get. They might, or the premium requests that GitHub allows. So now what I can still do is use edit, which is almost the same thing. I haven't fully figured out the difference between the two, but yeah, so there's that. Okay, so I need, all right, so upon save, let's see, let's see, I'm going to try agent again, but I don't think it's going to work. I think I've hit my monthly limit on this. I'm going to have to go look at my GitHub and see. I bet you it says I used my 300. Let's do that. I'm curious. So there is a way, supposedly, to go in and look at your settings somewhere and Copilot, is this it? Copilot. You currently have an active Copilot. Is it? this guy? No. Where did it go? I know it's there somewhere. I always forget where it's at though. It's somewhere about here. I am trying to find in GitHub my Copilot premium usage count. I forgot where it is. GitHub Copilot settings. Is that not where I'm at? That's not Copilot settings. Go to GitHub, click on your profile icon, right corner, select settings, and on the left side, click Copilot under billing and plans. Copilot billing. Well, I'm okay with using Copilot Ask and Edit. I mean, Agent's fine when it works, but I don't have to have it. Sometimes it allows me to be lazier. For all that, oh, here's billing and licensing. Maybe this is it. Usage. See, it says I don't have any metered here. You should see details about your subscription usage and billing. That's kind of what I'm at, but if I go to Copilot though, it doesn't really show me anything. Huh. Under Copilot section, billing and usage. It's not there. What nonsense are you speaking? I'm going to here. Settings. Oh, you're Copilot. Let's go there. Oh, that just takes me to here. And there is no billing and usage. Except to go up here, which is billing and licensing. It has usage under it, but that doesn't tell me anything. All right, well, whatever. Last month. Oh, look. I got billed 0. I did actually run from the 11th to the 29th. I had some. It's not telling me how many. It just says this many dollars, which isn't really anything. Linux? What? Skew? Actions Linux? What? I don't even know what those are. I mean, I didn't get billed anything, but I don't know what that is. But I got something last month. Certainly not for license-based products. Huh. I don't know, man. Who cares? I don't care anymore. That was interesting. Okay, so let's see what this does. I'm going to go to the agent and just see. All right. Upon code base. Upon save of a play. I need to identify what play type each, or play type group each play falls into. Some plays can be in more than one group based on the routes that are run. In the play, i.e., a play can be both a short, medium, long screen type play if it has players running those routes, which is determined by the end point of their route. Currently in types.go, my plays have a single play type ID, which probably is not the best. I need to add a play type group that can also be filtered on, holding the details. Run left, run middle, short pass, etc. A play of type run with a player that has both an exchange player that has a run with a player that has exchange in his route. Would be a run to the direction of his final move grid position in relation to the center 0, 0, line up position x 0 and y 0. It would be a middle run if that is no more than -2 to -2 to +2, left or right. Further would be left. Further negative would be a left run. Positive would be a right run. a play type of pass with player routes ending based on Y position would determine distance category or distance group. So a pass screen has a route ending with Y position negative. Short would be less than 5. Medium less than 10. Less than 15. Greater than 15 would be long. So I probably need a play type group array some sort attached to the play struct and a function to calculate when a play falls into each category. Goal line, which is another type or another group, would be determined by the formation of the play. Goal line, tight, or heavy. Per the playbook / seed data / formations. These are all plays of type of off def spec team equals 1 or offense. We can do a separate function for defense later. Is it going to let me do this, or is it still blocking me for whatever reason? Because earlier I did this, it thought about it, then it said, nope, not going to do it. I don't like you anymore. It says I'll help. Let's see if it'll help, or is it going to blow up? So I gave it a lot of information to calculate a function that's going to identify for me or allow my plays to be set into play groups that I can filter on in the front end. And that's my objective, to try to see if I can get this to be filterable on the front end. All right, it's examined my formations. I don't know how it's going to do this, because it's going to have to figure out how to read the action, or the route actions. I don't know if it's doing that. Route endpoints informations in it will allow for more detailed filtering of plays. Let me first analyze. I've examined the formations data and I'm ready to make the necessary changes. Let's see what it does. So it did add play type groups. It is going to use an array, which is kind of what I figured it would do. It's going to use these guys. Sure, why not? On left, middle, screen, short pass, medium pass, long, goal line. Theoretically, it'd probably be better to use a type, a simple play type, because my play types have, my play types have an ID. So, don't really have to do it this way. But I don't know if I like text. It might be all right, as long as it's easy to read when it comes down to it. I just hate text comparisons. I don't think they're very efficient, and they're kind of clunky in code. Numeric, or, I guess anymore with IDs, they're text. At least with Mongo, IDs are text anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. But still, IDs are fixed format. I could write all kinds of weird stuff in here and it might not quite function correctly. Play type groups based on the player routes and the play's information. I'll add these functions to a file called playtypegroups.go. Sure. Probably need to, because I have some functions getting, some of my Go store files are getting huge. I need to separate them. Store play, service play. What? Oh, did it not actually create them yet? Oh, there it is. Store play types go. Oh, play type groups. Oh, has not created that yet. Oh, it is. It's at the top because it used all those underlines. All right, first of all, let's go see what this does. This is just creating the references to it, so I'm all right with that. This is my playtype store. Store playtypes.go. What is it doing? Oh, it's still working on that one. This is getting to be pretty hardy already. This is my function. Get the play type, determine if it's running a player pass. Process routes based on play type, run. Base play type, run. Run type, they determine play route assignments. Append, play type groups, run group. So it must be doing something. Determine run play groups. Maps to track the final X position of players with key actions. Look for exchange actions which indicate a handoff in running plays. Very good. Keep non-runner positions, mainly looking at running back, fullback positions. Yeah, but you can't really do that. Wide receivers could have an exchange also. But I can add that. That's not a big deal. That's easy enough. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad. Let's see, actions. If this action is an exchange, handoff, mark this player. I don't even think we need to skip this because I won't give an exchange to a player that doesn't have the ball. So that's not really something you have to skip. I guess it keeps you from looking at like offensive line players, I suppose. Those are the only ones that are never going to get the ball in that way. Everybody else could theoretically get the ball. So I would probably not go by play position, but play or position group, which would put them on the offensive line. I have position groups. I am curious how this is going to work. I don't have handoff or toss. It's making stuff up. I said exchange, but handoff or toss. If I do an exchange and the guy's not near him, it's a toss. If he's not next to him, then it's a toss. That's my strategy. It may not be good. I may have to identify it so that it knows to let players get near, but now, the next thing I got to do is I got to figure out a way to, I mean, eventually I'm going to have the option for, or people can get plays. I mean, you'd like, I don't know, open a pack and you get plays, or maybe you earn plays through whatever the heck. I haven't decided how that's going to happen, but you can get plays and add them to your collection. But in the current situation, I don't have that built in. There's no place. So what I'm thinking of doing is I have to figure out a way. Maybe I need to set some plays to just like default. You know, just like some of my base plays that I create will just be everybody gets them. Everybody gets the starting 5 plays, and they cover every scenario. You got kickoffs, you got long runs, blah, 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 blah. And by default, those should be in your playbook because you have to have certain plays in your playbook. But, I mean, ultimately, because it's going to pull from your playbook all the plays that it's using. The default will pull plays from your playbook. Right now, it's not pulling anything because I don't have any plays in the playbook. Still trying to work on the playbook, but I really like the Grape Ghost. Grape Ghost is good. It's Welch's. Does it taste like Welch's grape? I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had a Welch's grape, but it's pretty good. And it's clear, so there's no artificial colors unless it has unless it has an artificial. Dang it, I do that all the time. What is wrong with me? I thought it was empty. I thought I had enough room. Oh, I do this. There's more in there than I thought, man. I thought it was like almost. Yeah, darn Ken. What are you doing, man? And then I always spill a little bit on like one key of my keyboard, which is eventually going to get so sticky. Holy moly, goly. How many? You've probably been here for me to do this like 5 times already. I do this like once a week. I overflow. Sometimes I overflow a lot, like today. Sometimes I barely overflow, but I always seem to overflow some. At least once a week. I'm just not good at guessing. And in that case, I wasn't even looking. Like I'm usually watching. I just kind of thought I had room. I was going to go. I've been drinking it pretty fast, so I thought it was good. Thought I was safe, man. All right, well, I think I got my mess cleaned up. That's why I have to have a roll of paper towels around for my sloppiness. That was a lot, man. That was enough to caused me some consternation. I might have even dripped it into my keyboard enough to have a drip out. And luckily it's a key that's not important, but the function key, I guess that's a little important. Yeah, maybe a little important. And suddenly I can't click the function key. Why does my function key not work anymore? Well, I don't know, because you're an idiot. You're a slob. Alright. So if you hear me complaining about my function key not working, you'll know why. You can yell at me, oh, well, maybe you should stop pouring drinks all over it. Alright, where was I? What else did this do? Still doing a lot. Cast started. Alright, so some of the things, well, I did a lot of stuff, man. So let's go here. I'll leave in handoff and toss on the off chance that I want to use it, but I also need to just not, I don't need this. Water's not that bad. Water is minimally, I mean, I'm pouring sticky stuff. And I do it off to the side, so the most of the mess ends up on my desk. It's not like I'm doing it right over my keyboard, but, you know, splash damage. Lands, and a little bit lands on the corner of my keyboard. And plus, when it foams out, see, that's what it's happening. It's not that it doesn't fit, it's just that it's foaming up. And when it hits, it comes out quick, like an explosion. So it's foaming, 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 and it gets closer, it goes whoosh, and just kind of overflows quick and goes bigger than just pouring out the hole. And then it hits fast, and when it splashes a foam, that does more, you know, has a bigger splash damage zone. And look, when the bubbles go down, it's like there's like a whole bunch of room left. Like literally, there's like I could probably pour a half a can still in there. There's not, look, it's not even enough that when I do this, it's gonna hit the top again. I was just pouring too fast and not paying attention to the foam up, which is exponential. All right, so we're all good. No more of that nonsense for today, anyway. But I have water, and I have a spill-proof water cup. Well, spill-proof-ish. I keep it pretty far away, though. Gotta have my drinks nearby. Well, plus mine isn't a computer, a full-on computer, so, I mean, of course it's an expensive keyboard, so that's a thing. See, I have one of those Kinesis gaming keyboards. That's the ones with a riser on them and it's split in the middle. So I can actually push my keyboard apart, which I usually do. It's got about 3 inches between each half. I think I can get rid of this. I guess let's actually do what is RA? RA is route assignment, play position. Yeah, I don't have position group in my route assignment. I'd rather just exclude every. That's looking for exchange. Look for exchange actions. Is it that big of a deal? It's only gonna, I mean, how long does it take? I mean, it's a little faster. 420. I bet you were celebrating last week. What in the hacker code are you looking at? I'm creating a football game, man. So these are like formations, and this is my play editor, so I can create plays for the game. So I'm working on setting up the play strategies. And as they go, but also I haven't got the simulation going yet, but I have like my game plan functionality. I've got a playbook here that I can load up my plays. I got my images kind of broken at the moment, but I'm working on that. So this is so you can create the playbooks that'll be used in the game plans. Because when you go into the game plan, you can actually select what kind of play type you want to run for that particular game situation. So that's what the playbook's for. You'll add plays to your playbook, and if they're long or short or whatever, they'll land into these types. Or you can even select your favorite plays, what plays you prefer to run. Easter? Why Easter? I thought you would have preferred, or was Easter 420? I guess Easter might have been 420. Yeah, Easter was 420. Okay. So it wasn't Easter that you liked. It was just the date was coincidental. But I do have, I've been working. I've got some basic. I don't think my POC works anymore. I've moved on past my POC, so I can't even use it anymore. I don't think it functions anymore. But I've been working on my. This is the streamer functionality, which allows you to connect games from the system into a streamer mode. So I'm hoping to get that going soon. I really like the streamer mode. That'll be cool. But this is just the web part, and I'm gonna have a Unity part, which I've been working on off and on over the last couple weeks. Starting to get learning Unity. I don't know any Unity. But see, this is where you set up your streamer key to do the streamer parts. So I'm getting there. I mean, it's actually a little substantive now, whereas in the past, it was nothing. Well, the working title is the Fantasy Pro Football Manager. So it's along the lines of it's a simulation. So if I were to compare it to other games, it's a combination of a big win football and front office football. Big win football and front office football 9 or 8 or 7, whatever you want to call it. But okay, so front office football is a game manager. Terrible simulation. Simulation's just not worth it. Almost every game manager out there that goes into any kind of game manager parts have terrible simulations. None of them are good. I don't think you could find a single game out there that's got good simulations in the back end that have good back end team management features. Some of them go so far into the team management features that it's kind of like a game will either go far to the left, which is the visuals, Madden, Maximum Football, the old NFL 2K. It might even go. You might look at some games that go really far to the left, right? Really good graphics. Then you got some that go all the way to the right, and they have really good back end. You can do salary caps and trading and scouting and team management and you can fitness and everything. You can do all of it, but the simulations are crap. I'm trying to fall somewhere in the middle. I want my game to have a good simulation on the left and a good back end on the right, but won't be the extremes of those. For one, I'm one person, and the extremes of those is going to take forever. Although I think I can lean towards the extremes of the logic a little faster than I could lean the extremes of the front end. The games that have really great graphics like Madden and Maximum Football, those are all games that you control. They're all games about you controlling finding a balance. So, but my favorite game sim, of all the games I've looked at and checked, the ones that sim, which basically means you don't have any control. A true sim, you don't have any control. It's not simulating you playing, it's simulating the game playing. The best one is Big Win Football on Android. It might be on iOS, but I don't have an iOS to tell you for sure. but it has a really nice sim. It has no back end to speak of. In other words, your management and all that stuff doesn't exist. But the sim is great. I mean, the players move smoothly. It doesn't have a lot of features that I'm going to have. Like I'll have different formations and different plays and a lot more control over what those plays do. And you'll actually have plays that you could call and that kind of stuff. But it won't have, but I like it because it runs a full sim, 15 minutes, although it cheats it. It runs it really fast. So the clock goes super fast. So it's not a true 15 minutes. It's not like the guys are moving really quick to cover the 15 minutes. It's more like they run at normal speed and the clock just runs really fast. So game runs over about 10 minutes. It looks good though, and I just like the way it feels. But it doesn't have much as far as all other play. But visually, that's what I'm going for. Something about that quality of play. I'm hoping. That's pretty high for a guy who doesn't know anything about graphics or Unity or anything like that. So we'll see. On the other side, I'm probably going as deep. I want to have trades and waivers and the NFL rules. I'll have real NFL player stats building the skills. So I'm trying to come up with the best strategy for releasing players and allow those to be in the game so that you can use them. Although, since I don't have an NFLPA license or an NFL license, which are stupid expensive and I couldn't get them anyway because EA owns them, I'm going to try and do something different. This is where the fantasy part of my game comes in. I'm hoping that I'll be using characters that aren't necessarily human. Like, I want to have them named after their mascots. Like, the players will be like, say, for example, you're drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Now, in my game, they won't be the Colts. They'll be whatever the anagram is that turns Indianapolis Colts into a different team. But it's an anagram, so you can figure it out. And then, whatever that team is, maybe they're the Lions, let's say, or the Sky Cats, or the Lizards, or whatever. Any team that they're drafted by, that player is represented by that thing. So if you like say you have Bo Nix from the Broncos. The Broncos in my game are the V-Born Scorned, so they're the Scorned. They're like these little devil imp characters. But since he was drafted by the Broncos, he would be a Scorned. He would be one of these little imp guys. Bo Nix would be one of these imp guys. Now, his name would be whatever the anagram for Bo Nix would end up being, which I don't know how I'm going to do. That's such a small name. I'm going to have to call him... Geez, that's going to be a tough one to come up with a good anagram for. It's not very many letters to work with, but I don't know. We'll call him Bix. No Bix. Some of them will be easy to figure out. There's not enough letters. But if he were to get traded or drafted by another team, he stays a lizard or scorned. Because it's whatever team a player is drafted by, that's the team that they're going to be, that's the character they are forever and ever in the game. So no matter what year he's in the game, he's always going to be a Scorned because he was drafted by the Broncos. So every player that comes in as their drafted character. That's the plan. But creating all of these 3D models is a daunting task. I may end up only having placeholders. Yeah, except it's M. It's Bo Nix. I got to use the letters. It's an anagram. So I'd have to use the letters that are in his name. So like Bo Nix would have to be like on Bix or something. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be really hard. Ox. Let's see, what if we use Ox for his last name and go Nib Ox? Bin Ox. So that's gonna be a fun one to try. But yeah, the 3D models, I've got a lot of cool ones though. They're 2D models and I've converted some of them. Some of them came out really good. It's not creating the models isn't even the hard part now because I triple works so good at creating models. I may have to make some concessions to kind of make it so it can create all the models. I may have to make some simpler than the ones I have. But the problem is getting the meshes on them and the not the meshes, the animations and the skeleton on them. So when you build the skeleton into the 3D model, you know, for him to move, then you have to create the animations, and you have to create animations for each of these guys. Now, granted, most of them are humanoid; they all have arms and legs, except for the snakes, who I may have to throw out simply because it's going to be too hard to do. So I may have to come up with a different solution for the snakes. Problem is, if you don't have a snake body, then they really just look like lizards. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm probably just going to start creating it with one or two character races just to kind of get things going, and then we'll see how much time I have to spend on actually turning all of those characters in. It might end up being, I don't want to tell people for sure I'm not doing it anymore, because I don't know if there's enough interest in these being non-human characters. You know, people want to play football. It's going to be real football, NFL football. I'm not going to have, even though you have these characters that are different races, I'm thinking if I can come up with special animations for like big events like scoring or sacks or interceptions, fine. That's what I kind of would like to do. But the game itself, there's no cheating. None of these guys are allowed to fly or smash or crunch. This isn't Blood Bowl. This is just going to be football, except I'm taking a different tack for the visuals, just like everybody else who tries to animate them in however way they do them. But the thing is, all these games out there using generic people, that's kind of boring. Everybody's got generic people games, right? If you can't use the real names, using generic people's just people. So what? Now there is one other option, which I'm heavily considering, which I kind of thought of this the other day. When you have 22 guys on the field, they really look pretty much the same anyway, because 22 guys is pretty small, right? Because if you're doing this on a phone or whatever device, they're pretty tiny. And guys that have tails or wings, maybe if I can just figure out how to make that appear, but make the rest of them basically just the same, human. But whenever somebody would like look at their player card or zoom in, or whenever you would show that player anywhere else in the game, they would be their 3D model creature, which might allow me a lot of leeway for what I'm doing on the field, for making the game run simpler, I'm hoping. And then everywhere else, those characters are represented by their visuals. So like whenever they have their helmet off, they look like blah, or they look like whatever their character is. And then I don't have to have all those animations except the special animations, which I could work on and add in later. So it's like maybe they look like a human kind of, but when they do a sack, all of a sudden their wings sprout and they fly up in the air and do a little animation, and then they go back down into their like looks like human form. They tuck their wings back in and they look normal. Or the only thing I'd have to do is figure out how to animate like characters with tails. You know, you kind of want the tails to still be on them. So I don't think that would have to be too difficult, though. I mean, if I can come up with a good solid body, then I can come up. The problem is with you have a lot of characters that are totally different. Their suits, their uniforms, their NFL player uniforms are all the same, all different styles. You know, you got guys that are big and small and shaped different, and you got to create different outfits for everybody. So if I want to give them different colors and stuff, it becomes super complicated. But if I have them all the same, I can give them all different uniforms. They all look pretty cool. And then it's only when they're zoomed in that I have to worry about, you know, anything fancy. So maybe I'll do that. Who knows? I'll have to see what it looks like. Because 22 guys in the field is so small anyway, you can't see their details. And if I don't allow them to zoom in, which it's kind of like a cop-out, but most phone games are so small, you know, they don't allow you to zoom in anyway. Most of them don't. So anyway, there you go. That's what I'm planning for. That's the fantasy part of the game. I hope to have a lot of stuff in here. I'm excited. A lot of it's coming together. It's starting to look pretty cool. There will be multiplayer, as in your team can sim against another team. You can do well. The plan is there will be a coaches mode, so you'll be able to pick plays of your own and have your players go at it. You can also sim your two teams. You can have your two game plans set up and just have two teams go against each other. Leagues can have multiple players in them, so your games would simulate against other players. They would simulate on a schedule so that people can get in there, do their practice and their whatever prep, as long as they do it before the game runs. Then you'll have it. So we won't be able to do a lot of things. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And two, I could always add or go more deep into it in a second version, right? Have the first version kind of give you that taste, and then in the future I could say, okay, well, I've kind of got this stuff. Let's go a little bit more into the details, make some better animations, make some better characters, maybe make a team that looks a little more like their character, and then slowly add more and get it more upgraded, and just give me something to do in a future version. But my goal is to get the game simulating and get all of the back end, or at least the key components of the back end functionality going, so that I have something that I can get out there and start selling it, maybe making a little money to do the upgrades that I need for future versions. Because I have a lot of plans, a lot of cool stuff, and I'm hoping to get some functional stuff going pretty soon. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to get this thing going. I've made a lot of headway thanks to AI. I'm learning a lot of new stuff because I've never done Go before. I tell this to everybody. Nintendo's like, oh, here we go again. He's telling the life story of the game. Every time a new person comes along and goes, what is this? I start telling the whole story of what the game is, and he's probably like, oh. Because he's been around. Nintendo's been kind of one of my regulars, and he's been watching me do a lot of this stuff since I started back in November. Cool, man. Yeah, definitely follow and check things out. And in time, I am hoping to allow backer access. That's people who are supporting me through something, either through my Indiegogo, which I haven't launched my latest one yet. I've been kind of waiting to build up a little bit of steam or following on that. But either through my Indiegogo or through my Patreon or through whatever. And then I'm going to give everybody a backer code that they can go in and just either download the APK if I have one yet, or log into the website and start fiddling with it in the next, probably in the next, I want to say the next 3 to 6 months. That's my goal. Have something, just so people can log in and start fiddling with the stuff I've got. It'll be buggy as all snot, so be prepared. But as I add and enhance and fix bugs and knock things out, people can start playing with creating game plans and playbooks, and hopefully even have a simulation of some kind. That's my goal, is to have some kind of a simulation before I do that. Some kind of a simulation running that people can kind of have an end-to-end process, even if it's clunky or buggy. Hopefully not clunky, but and then I just kind of keep adding and enhancing and improving and making it closer to releasable, adding more and more of the back-end features. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm excited because I keep seeing, I sense the light at the end of the tunnel. This is just a really long tunnel. I can hear the bird chirp because it echoes through, but the spot at the end is super tiny, and I'm not moving through as fast as I think I am. The sun is fooling me. It's not as close as it looks. And when I say 3 to 6 months, I don't mean the game is going to release in 3 to 6 months. There's just going to be an available version of it. All right, so how many of these things are compiling? So store.go has an issue. What is store.go's problem? Well, that's a play, so how come it's got a problem? Is it the wrong format of a play? Oh. No, it's PB play. Same thing. What is its problem? Not enough arguments in call. Oh, wait, what else is this supposed to have? Playbook store. Oh. You forgot something there, AI. You didn't put in my store object. Why not? I don't have a store object. Wrong argument count. What do you suggest, Copilot? Do I just put the store object in? S? Oh, this is probably just S, right? I don't know. Let's see what this says. All right, man. Problem is that you. But it's not being passed when you call it. You need to pass the store itself as the third argument. Really? Why do I need to pass the store to a store play? So yeah, it's just saying put the S in. But update. So I gotta pass the store to the play store? It's kind of weird. Which one else? This one's doing it too. I think that's kind of weird, to be honest. What else we got? Is that it? Okay, what about store play? Play type groups. API play has no play type group. Play type groups. Oh, I think you missed a spot. I think you missed part. Play type groups needs to be added proto to the playbook.proto. That's the kind of thing that I could just go do, but I don't know why. I sometimes just want to tell AI what it did wrong. You forgot something. You know, like I said, AI has a problem. It seems like it has an aversion to updating the proto files. Unless you tell it to, it oftentimes won't update the proto files. I don't know why. It'll like do all this code for everything else. In fact, sometimes it'll go, oh, this is out of sync with the proto files. So let's fix the code. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Why not just synchronize the proto file? And it goes, oh, well, we could do that too. I'm like, okay. Yeah, all right, let's fix the proto file. It's like, why does it feel like the proto files are like off limits? It's like something about its logic feels like, oh, look, did it really do that? You didn't just do that. Did you really just do that? It did. It really just did that. It added play type groups and didn't change the numbering. It put it in the middle, although it wants it at the end. Oh, wow. That is, wow. I don't even know what the heck. I don't even know what to say about that. Come on, AI. Put in a little effort there, man. Why would you do that? I don't even know if these have to be in order, to be honest. It's possible they don't, but it looks weird if they're not. So I'm kind of the, let's not be weird. Oh yeah, still working on that, huh? Well, hopefully that one will come through for you. What do you mean? All right, let's go back to whatever it was I was doing before. Playbook. Playbook, let's see our problem. Test has still got to be fixed. Mock has to be fixed. Play type groups, that one has to be fixed. The mocks and the tests can hold for a minute. It's cleaner. So when you're creating different versions, what tool are you using to write your code? Are you using VS Code? And then how do you know? I mean, what are you writing? Are you using Java to write your code for your stuff? Oh, is this really a thing? I can't. This is a weird thing about Go, and it's also weird that AI didn't notice this. I don't know if there's a way you can do that like it showed. But you can't put comments between. You have to put these on the same line. I don't know why. What the heck? See, like the error goes away when you put them on the same line. But I don't know how AI missed that problem. So unless there's something I'm missing, AI made a syntax error that is weird to me. It's the kind of syntax error you would not expect AI to make. Yeah, they do that for code for iOS. Swift for Android, Java. Kotlin has too many freaking errors. I've never used Kotlin. VS Code and Tray for AI. VS Code and Tray AI and Cursor AI and Windsurf AI. Code for iOS, Swift. So is Swift the language for Android, Java? Oh, okay. So you use Swift in iOS and Java for Android. I don't even know what Kotlin is. I've never heard of Kotlin or Kotlin. Never heard of that. You know, most languages, it's weird with graphics engines. Graphics are I like using most languages can be written 100% in code. I mean, like React. All of the layout, all of the stuff I'm doing is all 100% code, except for the images that I'm just uploading and linking to. But in Unity, you can't do all that stuff in code. It's got a UI element, and all you can do is go step by step. So AI is not going to help you do a lot of the stuff. I mean, it helps you in that it tells you where to go and what to click on and what to do to get there, but you still have to do it. it's controlling and figuring out the layouts and all that kind of junk. And it's definitely different. I almost wish that I could 100% program it in code. I don't know why. I just I guess it because I could be more lazy. I have to. Shame on you, Ken. Stop being so lazy. I know, but I don't know graphics, and it's making me do graphics. I don't want to do graphics. Come on. Don't want to know how to do this with code. All right, so I fixed that. So everything here is now looking like it wants to compile. So we're going to go back to my playbook. Control C. We'll say go run dot. And we are now up and running once again. Now, the next big problem. How do I set up... I wonder... I hate running temp scripts, to be honest, but I might have to. I need to figure out a way. You know what? I think I need to do this. Let's go to my... Do I even have default plays? Route actions, formations, play types. I do have default plays. What I'm going to need to come up with is a seed data that builds all my default plays into the system. I think. I'm going to go playbook seed data. We're going to go new file, and we're going to go default plays dash seed.json. Now, what I'm going to need to do here is I'm going to need to go into my Mongo database, go up to my plays, and take honestly, I think I'd like to take about now that we made this change, I'll need to regenerate the protobuf code using I did that. Let me know if you'd like to. Did this have any suggestions for updating the existing files? Define standard groups, added play type group support, define standard groups, create a logic for group determination, modified store and service. Okay, so let's see. And I don't need all of them to end up in there, but I do need to create a let's see here. Can you see? Let's go hashtag. I don't know if it can do this, but hashtag codebase. Can you see the files in my MongoDB? Specifically, the plays documents. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it can access Mongo stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm up to 700 files that aren't checked in. Ay, that's not a good thing. I gotta really get this checked in. I'm constantly adding new stuff. This might be one of my biggest check-ins. It's growing at an exponential rate. This is very bad. Very bad. I should probably just check it in now before I do anything else. Everything's compiling. Not everything's working, but everything's compiling. No. All right, so let's close all others. And I'm going to go open 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. No. I need to do 2 things. One, I need to update these plays with the new play groups functionality that we added. So that when I need to filter these plays, I can use it to filter or select plays based on those values. Two, I need to then create a single, I need to then add these specific files, plays, to the playbook /seed data /default plays.json. I need to then add these specific plays to the playbook cdata default.json. And then thought I had a user in here that was just empty. Oh, how come this doesn't have a play image? That's weird. I don't have a play image for 9? Something went wonky there. How do I not have a play image for 9? Oh, I don't have it. Well, how did... Oh, something's wrong. How do I not have a 9? That's not good. Nine did not generate a play. Was there something I did weird with 9? Huh. Well, I'll delete that and then I'll have to see what happened, why I didn't get a 9. Because can't use 9 without an image. SS32 buttons. Why did... If I could figure out how to load stuff, I could load this and then generate the image again. That would work. Maybe I'll keep it. That'll probably be a good test for a load functionality to see if I can regenerate the image. So we'll just do, we're not going to take that one for now. I'll just say these ones. Okay, so I need to do 2 things. One, I need to update these plays with the new playgroups functionality that we added, so that when I need to filter these plays, I can use it to filter select plays based on those values. You know what? What I really should do is fix my load functionality. Because then if I could just load it, when it saves again, my stuff loads with the new values. I have functionality that's supposed to be able to load. I just haven't given myself a way to do that yet. So many things. So many things. There's always some piece of blather blocking my way. I really need to come up with a way to fix my minimum size too, so it stops resizing out of my window, but that'll have to be small. I only have a few, so maybe for now I need to create a basic load. All right, so as much as I want to do this, I'm going to try not to do that yet. Since the play editor only exists in React, I don't need to worry about adding extra features causing me problems later down the line. I don't have to reduplicate the effort. So I need a load functionality for existing plays. I do have load functions. I just don't know if they work. So let's clear this out. Time to implement a play editor in the PFFM. Let's go hashtag codebase in the PFFM web /source app /coach / play editor component. I need to implement a load play functionality that will allow me to edit the plays. Under the play type dropdown, I need to add a filter based on offense, defense selection, and play type filter. Offense, defense, special team. Or I'm sorry, no, that's not right. Nope. Based on offense, defense, selection. And a play type filter. Base play type. This load play function will allow me to edit the plays. Under the play type dropdown, I need to add a filtered new dropdown that will have all the play names with a stored play ID. That when clicked, the play editor will load that play using the settings play for route actions, route actions. It will have to also make the route actions and available actions windows visible. Oh, no, it doesn't have to make those visible, because when I click on something, it'll appear. It will also have to act to display the correct route actions list when I click on the position displayed with their routes. First click should only display route actions and available actions, and should not add anything to those lists. But subsequent clicks can work as well. Oops, nope. I don't need that either. I think by natural force it already does that. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, let's see what that does. Still here strong. You tell. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You get. Oh, stop doing that. All right, so I'm going to see if this can actually do this. I have a feeling I'm going to run into some significant issues here, but it has been known, since this is a single page, single item action, it might be able to figure this out. It says, oh, I got this. I'll do this. I'll implement this. but then it stumbles, trips, and falls all over the place. And I'm like, oh, you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, and you didn't do this and that. And it's probably because I should have told you, but...
Help, the handle came out of the shower?
How did that happen?
I don't know, I was just turning it,
Did it break?
hold, and it came off. I don't think it's broken.
I think it's supposed to be like glued on there, and it's like this thing is like the glue or whatever that's supposed to hold it on there. Just let go. So like you can just push it on. Oh, there's a screw fell out. There's a missing screw.
Oh, is that it? That's too big.
Yeah, but it's got a squirt. It's like, how do you screw it on? What do you want to screw it on?
Well, it was on the sink, so.
It doesn't have a, look, it doesn't have a way to screw it. There's no washer or nothing for it. Or no way to, okay, you find another screw that's like long enough to That might have been it, but I don't know how they did it, how they cut that there. So my wife's breaking stuff. The handle came off of the shower down here. She was trying to fill up a bucket and it just came off. And it turns out there was a screw missing, but we're like, well, what the heck? There's this screw, but we're not even sure how that screw got screwed in because it doesn't have a screw in top. There's no wrenchy side or Phillips or anything. So how do you even push that in? So I was like, what the heck? How does that even work? So yeah. So I'm trying another screw. Trying to find another screw that'll go in there. But yeah, that's a weird situation. And I'm pretty sure this isn't a waterproof screw. So I don't know. In other words, it'll rust. It'll get all weird if it gets wet. I don't have any idea how that went in. But I don't know. I mean, this screw I found fits, and it'll probably work, but I don't know, man. How does stuff happen? I tell you, just the screw just poof gone. All right, so what did he do? What did you do, man? Added necessary imports from play data, including fetch plays and fetch play functions. Don't I already have? Oh, they're just adding them into there. Oh, okay, because we already have them. All right, so I'll keep. So we added them to my imports. Okay. That's all you did? I've implemented a load play functionality in the play editor component. Here's what has been added. Added the necessary imports. Added a helper function to convert IDs to readable names. Created a new state for filtered plays and loading state. Added a use effect hook to load all available plays when the component mounts and filter them based on their current unit of filter. Enhanced the filter component to include a drop down to select existing plays that match. Is that so? Well, let's see what you did. Let's go back here. Click playbook, play editor. And got a bajillion errors. Oh, but it does have an existing plays list. Select play to edit. But we did get a lot of errors, so we're not quite there. Got 12 errors on that puppy. So we aren't quite there. API handler. What else we got? What's the other problems here? Let's see what my output says. Let's see. Received formations data, valid formations 15 out of 15, unit comparison, filter formations, sample filtered formations, filtered component rendered within a filter, filtered formations count, sample filtered formations, formation selector, formations sample formation selector, sample. It's like none of that worked. Didn't even go. I don't even have an error message or anything. Whatever happened, it did not do any of that right. RPC error code internal failed to marshal the received message proto, cannot parse invalid wire format. Request failed with code 500. Error response. Oh, I think it tried to load a bunch of stuff and it probably just failed. Okay. Okay, well, we have a start, but lots of errors when play editor loads. Seems most are related to the gRPC calls. to the services. Does it have the call that it actually tried to make? Allow task to run. Oh, what's your task? Oh, playbook's already. Oh, oops. Playbook's already running. It could be part of the problem. I do this sometimes. I update stuff and then I don't restart the service. Go run dot. I don't know that it changed anything though. I don't think it changed anything. But we'll find out in a minute. There's 6 errors right here. Sheesh. I haven't even gotten to the play editor yet. 12. Huh. No, there's definitely some issues. ID. That's just the formations. I'm not seeing any errors in here. Playbook service is already running. It says, oh, I see you already have it running. It's like, that's what I said, yeah. Very good. Oh yeah? I thought it didn't come out till tomorrow. Are you? Oh, I guess technically when shows come out the next day, you can go see them the night before. That's true. I want to go see that. My wife actually said she might want to see it, which is surprising. She doesn't normally like those kind of movies, so we might go see it next week. Probably on Tuesday when it's cheap. Let's update play editor, add better error handling, use effect, make the plays drop down more defensive by checking if data is valid, add a fallback UI when API calls fail. So it's very much doing stuff in the front end, but I don't know that it's considering. Let's now update the handle load play function to make it more resilient to errors and handle different formats of play data that might coming from the back end. That's fine, but I feel like you're not looking at all of the parts. Adding air handling is never a bad thing, though. Playdata.js file to add better air handling for fetch place functionality, ensures gracefully handling. So 8:30 is what, an hour from now? You guys are going pretty late for Thursday. I guess you're not working. You're like me. You can go anytime you want. Not sure that fallbacks are a good solution. If the data is not valid, then we need to fix the data source. Are the API calls functioning and returning all the same data that the save puts in the database? Yeah, AI likes the fallback idea. It's just big on fallbacks. Oh, if this isn't there, let's just put in this random piece of information. It's like, what is that gonna do me? I'm gonna have a bunch of crap data because I'm putting out dummy values. Playbook is already running. Playbook service is already running. Why do you keep wanting to start it? There's nothing wrong with it unless we're looking to restart it. But you haven't changed any code, so why would I need to restart it? Based on thorough analysis of the code base, I've identified what's likely causing the errors in the play editor component. Let me explain the issue and propose a solution. Looking at the backend Go code, the playbook service defines a protobuf message structure with a get all plays response that contains a list of play objects in the gateway. When handling the API plays endpoint calls get all play handler, blah, 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 blah. This means the front end receives a nested structure like plays, blah, 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 rather than a direct array. However, in playdata.js, the code assumes it's getting an array directly. Const fetch plays. The mismatch in data structure is likely causing the gRPC parsing error. The solution, let's update the playdata.js file to fix the data format issue, ensuring it properly handles the API response structure. Now that we've fixed the main issue in playdata.js to properly handle different response formats in the API, let's also update the error handling in the API handler to provide a more detailed debugging information when gRPC errors occur. So it's not actually saying there's anything wrong with my data, it's just saying that it's not reading it right, which is interesting. I do think it's weird though if it's actually handling multiple types of data. Because why would I ever have more than one type of data? Direct array and nested. See, why do we need to do both types? Why do we need to handle two types of arrays? If the data comes in a specific format, then just handle format. I am not planning on changing the format or if one format is more efficient, let's return in that format. But I don't want to be handling formats, array formats that will never occur. Stop trying to give me crap. Shiminy criminy, AI. Oh, don't tell me you're trying to start the playbook service again. Why are you trying to tell me? Oh my gosh, why are you doing that? Let me check what format the API actually returns the play endpoint. Run command in terminal. Okay, that's a different thing. Yeah, grep is not a thing. Why don't you use curl? Are you gonna need that shower?
No.
Okay. I think I found a screw. I'll try to put it on in a little bit. Looking for the get all places implementing a playbook service using PowerShell. Okay. Set location cannot find path. Blah 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 PFFM playbook because it does not exist. What do you mean it does not exist? It does exist. PFFM go MS. Why did it double up? Oh, it needs to change your dude. You need to stop putting too many. Dude, I could just tell you where it's at, man. No, it's here. Let me tell you where it's at. You obviously can't find it. I don't know why you can't find stuff. I don't know what's going on with you, but if you are looking for the what are you looking for? The playbook service. It is in the what is it? PFFM go ms / playbook / what is the name of the function you want? Where is get all plays? Right, I can ask exactly how the API works. Oh, in the get all plays handler function around line 16. Oh, I did find it. Okay, I guess we don't have to. We can see the back end is indeed returning a structured response with plays array. The back end encodes the entire response object from RPC call. Oh. Which contains a field plays. This means the front end will always receive a JSON onto a structure plays. Let me simplify fetch plays function and play data.js to handle just the one specific format, since that's all we'll ever get. That would be good. Let's not be silly about this. Returns provides cleaner, more straightforward code, matches code now. Okay. Not exactly sure what he did to fix the problem though. But I guess we'll find out when I go back here. Let's go back to my playbook. Go run dot. And we'll go back over to my playbook function, and we got errors. We got less errors, but we still got errors. Instead of being at 12, we're now at 8. Which I don't know that that's better. Error and get plays. Oh. Oh shoot, my playbook didn't actually run completely. Let's go try that again. I didn't realize I wasn't fully up and running. Let's try it again. That's still 8. Okay. What else we got? API handle, API handler, API handler, API handler, API handler. So they're all API handler errors. Paste. None of them are very helpful though. Are we getting response here though? Oh, we got found play, enhance images. So we are fetch 15 plays, and so it's getting the plays back. So what is the problem then? Still doing it again. Playbook service is already running. Output log does show that it got the plays, but still getting the 500 error or something. And the play editor. You'll have to let me know how that is. I'm probably going to go and log off here in about 20 minutes. Go eat some food, because I guess my daughter's is gonna be coming by and wanting to play pickleball. My wife will be playing too, so at least the three of us. I don't know who else is gonna be here. Probably nobody else. I had to practice my plays the day I was doing my lines earlier too. Allow the model to run the shell gateway. Gateway's already running too, man. I can stop that though. Don't need to run the gateway because I'm pretty sure we're good there. Alright, we'll let you... No, because if I let it run, then it gets stuck because it doesn't turn off CD. It doesn't know how to disconnect itself. CDP fm go ms / gateway go run dot. Gateway is already running as well. It's going to be one of those where I have to go step through the code myself. Sometimes I hope API can figure it out, or AI can figure it out, but truthfully, it cannot always do that. You know, while it's doing that, I'm going to hit a pause here. I don't want to have it change anything just yet. Let's go look at something. Oh, we're down to one error. What is the one error? Alright, let's kill this for a minute. What is the one error? Oh, we have some plays. So these are the run plays. Okay, so none of these work. It's not. Okay, so I think the problem is I need to load the formation in here. Probably doesn't know what to do, because I just realized that there's no way for it to know what to put here without loading the formation and putting the formation on, and it needs to know the formation to load. Even though we have all the formations already loaded, they're in here, they're just not filtered, and that's the ones I have here. So, okay, so what is this error? We're still getting, so we're not getting keys back. Something is not sending my IDs back correctly. Which means, I'll be right back. Holy moly. My 7.68 miles this morning are catching up to me. Might be a problem when it comes to playing pickleball later. I'm gonna have to stretch a little bit moving around here. Plus I did legs yesterday, so I did leg day and then run 2 days in a row. So my legs are going. You do know you're gonna pay for this later, right? You do know I'm not letting you off with no repercussions for this torture you put me through. It's like, oh, come on, don't be a spoil sport. Just let me torture you a little bit, build a little muscle. It's for your good. Oh, this is PFFM Web. Okay, so we're going to go here. Let's go look at my data. Problem here is in the check the render method of playbook. So why am I having issues? Each child. So this is check the render method of filtered component. Oh, these are two different things. But it is still a key. Each child in list should have a unique key prop. So we're having an issue with that. So let's go to the play editor, coach. Play editor. We are getting the values back. They are loading, so I am seeing them load now, so yay. But what we're not getting is the ID being set correctly. So 352, oh my gosh, this is getting huge. So, oh, that's 252. Let's go to 352. So where's the break I put here? So really, I think the problem is not that. We need to go find all plays is what I need to go find. So, because we're putting PID in here. And can I break somewhere here? Well, nope, I can, but that's the wrong one. Gotta go play editor, source, football, coach, play editor. $352. Let me put a break in there. No, it's 552. Good grief. 352. Nope. Somewhere around here maybe? Alright, so we can do that. And then we're also going to do it where all plays originates. Current document. All plays, constant, load all plays. So we're going to be somewhere about here. Okay, and then does that load here? No, it's going to be all the way back. Let's load them here. Or not. Where's that loading at? Where is it attempting to make that load? Oh, it's doing it up here maybe? Load and filter plays. Okay. Nope. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, my plays have special teams, play type. Aha. Plays are not loading with their play ID. We got play, we got image, we got everything but the play ID in this list. I wonder if I can put this in the immediate window. Can I put this in the immediate window? Immediate. Where are you, immediate window? Call, exception, command. Oh, there it is, immediate window. So these are two of the plays being returned by the fetch plays. I wonder if fetch plays is doing something that's filtering them out. Let's go look at playbook data. Fetch plays. Fetch all plays. Okay. Is that what it is? Fetch all plays? I don't see how fetch all plays is doing anything wrong. Fetch all plays. So we get the plays, and it's just not in there. Create lookup format for images. Fetch play images. And we got plays, which comes back here. So these are two of the plays being returned by the fetch. Is it fetch plays or fetch all plays? Let's make sure I'm not getting the wrong values. Fetch play. Where the heck is fetch plays? Okay. Where's fetch plays coming from? Fetch plays is coming from play data. Save play, fetch plays. Is that doing something weird? Why do I have two? I gotta get rid of something here. Something is being broken. API response from plays endpoint. Log the response. We're getting it. I don't see anywhere where it's breaking the play. From the fetch plays function on the front end, as you can see, it does not include the play ID. I could probably put a break here just for funsies. All right, go back here, go back here, go here, and here. Fetch plays. Then we have our response, which has 16 plays. Nope. And it's not in there. Not even with a different. It's just this is causing errors in the front end. I mean, if it's failing here, that means the problem is in the back end. No, they're not even there. I mean, that's fine, but it doesn't exist. It's not going to work because there's no ID in the response. The values I showed you are directly pulled from the response data. Oh, I didn't give him the data. Ah, whoops. All right. These values are pulled directly from the response data immediately upon return from the API call to the /plays endpoint. Note, there is no ID field of any kind. Dang it. I meant to say note, but of course I didn't bother to put an E on the end of not. It's like there's no point in fixing a reference if the reference in itself is the problem. So it's like it doesn't matter what it's called in the layout if it's not there at all. Yeah, it might be wrong in case if we ever get it. So we've got to try to get it. Okay. Oh, great. The issue here is in the back end. Somewhere in the response object load, ID is not being included. Oh my gosh. I see issue now. Play down this. Front is expecting place to have an ID field, but backend API seems to return without an ID field. Yeah, I know. Let's look at the fetch place function in the front end. But the problem's not in the front end. Problem's not in the front end. Undo. Undo. The problem is not in the front end. The back end is not sending the ID in the response. So either the gateway service is not including it for the get plays function in the playbook service is not including it. Stop looking for the fix in the front end. It's not it. Stop it. Pause. Go. Stop trying to fix it in the front. There's no amount of changing the front end code that's going to make the ID appear in the response. You gotta change the back end code, where it's coming from. It then encodes the response directly without ensuring the ID field is properly included. Let's also check the playbook service to see how plays are being returned. I can see the playbook server structure now. Let's look at the relevant files to identify where the play data is being handled. I found relevant code in playbook service, gRPC handler. Now let's go back further. I found the issue by examining the backend code. The problem is in how plays are being returned from the backend to the front end. After looking at the gateways, playbook code file, and playbook service, I can see that when the front end request plays from API plays, the following happens. The gateways all plays in. A function calls the playbook service get all plays. The playbook service get all plays method retrieves plays from the store. The response is returned through several layers and eventually encoded directly to JSON on the gateway. The issue is most likely the store play.go file in the playbook service where the plays are being retrieved from the database. I found the issue, it says. The backend code where play IDs are not being included in the response from the API plays endpoint. After examining the code, I identified the problem in the store code file in the service. The issue is in the getAllPlays method in the play store struct. When it retrieves plays from the database, it doesn't ensure that the lowercase ID field is properly set when the data is returned from the front end. In MongoDB, the ID field is stored as ID, but when it's decoded into the protobuf, it appears with JSON file names. Okay, so is my playbook fully stocked with BSON directives, first of all? Because I thought I went through and did all this, but there's possible it is not. Okay. So we do appear to have BSON directives for everything. Okay, well that's something. Obviously it doesn't answer the question completely because we've still got problems other places, but in MongoDB, ID field is stored as ID, JSON names mapping isn't handled ID correctly. This is why our front end is using place ID field. Let's fix this by modifying getAllPlays method to ensure each play has its ID properly set. I fixed the issue, it says, with missing plays in the ID backend. All right, let's see what it did. It's doing the forced set of everything. I hate this, but I don't seem to have, it seems to be a common problem though, where Go and Mongo don't line up very well, and they tend to get out of sync with each other. I don't know why. I don't know why it can't figure out how to map these IDs, but for whatever reason, it's not succeeding. So we're going to just take it. Just take it for what it is. So now I got to restart the playbook. There's definitely some funkiness between Mongo and the way Go handles things. Because I always have to do these forced maps, which is just nasty code. I don't like it. It looks sloppy. It looks like Oh, I can't figure it out, so let's do this. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Makes me look bad. Makes me look bad. I'm not writing the code, but whatever. I have to take credit for how this is written. Alright, so we're going to go all the way back to here. Go to here. Go to playbook. Still getting one error there, but that's a different error. That's a play editor error. Did not get a second error coming here, but then again, I just got here, so I don't know. All right, let's go see what my response looks like. See if I have a ID. I do now have an ID. Okay, so that's important. That makes them all unique. We do now have IDs, so we might be able to continue forward with this. Now, I have a feeling I'm still not going to have a valid load, because when I click here, are we getting new errors? No new errors yet, so that's good. Whatever. Okay, so it is successfully selecting. We're not getting any new errors, although we are not loading the play. Oh! Ooh! Okay, well, we got the formation loaded nice. It did that correctly. Assuming it's the right formation. It loaded a formation. I won't know until these 23 errors that came in afterwards are fixed. All of them are related to the actions results, I think. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of no lineup action found for position W2. Route cannot be drawn correctly. So we're having trouble with our lineup actions. No lineup action found, no lineup, yeah. So it's missing the lineup actions. It's not able to draw them, or it's not picking them up correctly. But hey, we made some progress. We got it to load, we got it to formation. Now it's just trying to do lineup actions. That'll be my next stop. But for now, I gotta take a break.